Hello friends, it's time for a new video and today I'm going to talk about the Game Beauty Attack on Titans collection, which is a collaboration between the TV show and the Game Beauty, of course. If you are not familiar with Attack on Titan, it's an anime show that some people even claim is one of the best ever produced. I have personally not seen it, so I can't talk like I'm an expert on the subject, but I still find it very exciting and fun for Game Beauty. I'm really happy for them that they were able to get such a nice collaboration, because the collection is really nice and it's also called Volume 1, which makes me think that it maybe will be another collection in the future. The collection consists of 3 quads and 4 lip glosses, and I have it all to show for you because I received the collection in PR from the brand. The concept on my channel is that I show you the swatches first, after that I will show you the looks I have been creating with the products, and after that I will tell you my full-on thoughts about everything. And that's just because that's how I like to do my reviews, and I think that's a nice way to showcase the products, and then you can build an opinion about them before I tell you what I think about everything. Without no further ado, let's roll the clips of the swatches. And now let's roll the clips of my looks I have been creating with all those products. Before I jump into the review, I just want to show off those beautiful earrings that I'm wearing today. I did purchase them from my friend Emmy, who hand makes them. Aren't they just lovely? If you decide to get the whole collection, you can choose to buy both the collection with a box and without a box. And the box looks like this. It's really big and nice, and inside you will get all the products. It's a really cool collection piece if you are into this anime or show. We can jump straight to the packaging aspect already, since I mentioned the box. I think that it's very well talked out. I don't know about the characters, but I feel like the brand really have been captured the colors from the show from what I have seen in the pictures when I did a little bit of research. So yeah, I think that the brand did an excellent job when it comes to the color stories and when it comes to the presentation on the packaging. So overall, I feel like the brand has done a great job with capturing the colors that is in the show from what I have seen. If you have watched this show, please let me know what you think about this collection. One thing that I find really fascinating when it comes to the packaging is that the lip glosses actually comes in a cardboard packaging, which is quite different, but I'm kind of into it. It looks quite cool, it feels really nice, and I think it suits the whole collection and the vibe of it. And the same goes with the palettes. They are also made in cartoon, and I think that's really neat. It looks really good and it's really cute in my opinion. The palettes are quads, as I mentioned earlier, and I find that the color stories are really pretty. They are eye-catching and fun. But for someone like me who likes to put a lot of colors and play with contrast and all of that, it can be a little bit limiting. But with that being said, I have been using all of the palettes on their own, and I have also been using them all together to get a good picture of how they work together and also how they work on their own, because I understand that not everyone wants to buy all of the palettes. And I created 2 looks with each quad just to make sure that I was able to do it, because sometimes it can be hard to come up with more than one look from one quad, in my opinion. And I felt like even though that I created 2 looks, I can still feel like I have more ideas of different looks and create with the palettes, which is a nice indicator that they work really nice on its own. But my preferred way to use them is to mix and match and use them together, because that does of course give you a lot more color options for an obvious reason, I guess. The most daring and fun color story, according to me, is the one that is called Rose. It contains a coral matte with some kind of glitter specks in it, and it also contains a mint or turquoise matte, very shifty shimmer, and one more darker coral shade, I would say. And I was thinking that this quad would be my favorite because it's obviously the most eye-catching, it's the most contrasting quad in this collection. But I have to say that I actually have another surprising favorite in this collection. Then we have the Maria quad that contains a blue matte and a darker brown shade that it also is a matte, but it has a very interesting tone. It's almost a little bit green leaning, which I am a big fan of. Then we have yellow shimmer with blue shifter glitter specks inside it, and then we have a more traditional blue shimmer. It's a very pretty quad, but I have to say that this was the least inspiring palette to me, and I think that's because I'm not the biggest blue fan on myself, to be honest. So I guess it's more like a color preference. But I have to say that if this quad had a yellow matte included, I think that I would appreciate a lot more. And now we come to my favorite. It's called the Sina quad. It's a somewhat neutral palette with warm tones. We have a matte dark brown shade, we have a yellow shade with glitter specks, and we have an orange shade with glitter specks, and then we have the most gorgeous shimmer that makes the whole color story for me. And you might think, how on earth can Smink be so interested in such a warm-toned quad? But let me tell you, it's so flattering with my blue eyes. I'm wearing contacts right now, so you probably can't tell, but oranges and browns and yellow looks super cute on blue eyes like I have. And secondly, the shimmer is really spectacular. It's really unique and out of this world. And third, I feel like those colors blend so well together. It has enough depth, and you can come up with a couple of different kinds of designs with this kind of color story. So in my opinion, I feel like the Sina palette is the palette that is the easiest to use on its own without including other shades. And this could very well be a preference thing, I don't know, but I like to have a deepening shade, a mid-tone shade, and something that is contrasting in the look to make it look better. But if you are into more mid-toned looks, maybe you'll prefer the other two palettes more. I don't know. As I touched on earlier in this video, I prefer to use all of the quads together because it gives me more options, and therefore I decided to swatch them all together to give you an idea of how the color story is when you see them all together. I think it's a nice mix of different colors and it gives you a lot more options. Game Beauty's matte formula is not the most pigmented out there, but it's very buildable, and that makes it really easy to use, and it also makes the blending a lot easier, especially if you are a little bit new into creating colorful looks. I personally really enjoy the Game Beauty matte formula. It's easy to work with, it blends really nicely, and you can also layer the colors, which is important for me who likes to do those more intricate looks. There is a couple of different shimmer formulas in those palettes. For example, in the Sina quad, there is a very creamy and wet formula, and that's my preferred formula when it comes to Game Beauty because it's so nice. It glides on the lids and looks very foiled and very impactful on the lids. Then we have the Maria quad, where we have one somewhat creamy shimmer and then a more satin-like shimmer that gives a more foiled look on the lid. And last but not least, in the Rose palette we get the more creamy formula and then the more satin-like formula. I had so much fun creating looks with those palettes, even more than I actually expected from the beginning, so I have to say that if you're interested in these palettes, don't doubt about it because they are really good and nice quality. When it comes to the lip glosses, I really like the shade selection. There is 2 more pigmented glosses and then 2 more less pigmented with sparkle inside them. And I have to say that they were actually more pigmented than I expected from seeing them in other people's swatches. So I guess it's depending on how you apply the lip glosses. I'm a heavy applier when it comes to most of my makeup because I like to see a difference when I'm wearing makeup. Why would I wear it otherwise? You know. And the formula is really comfortable, it's not sticky, it feels really nice on the lips. I can't complain anything about that. The only thing I have to add is that you maybe don't need all of the shades unless you are a collector, because they are quite similar, but they are still pretty and I really enjoy them all. I would say maybe pick 1 or 2 shades that you like, and I think that you will be happy with that. I think that I will use those glosses quite a lot in my daily life because they are so comfortable and non-sticky, so I'm really excited to have them in my collection. They are quite moisturizing too, and that's a big plus in my opinion. The collection is now in stock on the website, so if you are interested in picking something up, you can go to the site and order it directly. Yeah, I think this was a really fun collection from Game Beauty. I really enjoyed their collections and their creativity, and this was definitely a good collection from the brand. I have nothing to complain about. So if you are a fan of the anime or if you just like the colors, I think that you will be really happy with those products. This was all for this video. I'm really interested to hear what you are planning to pick up or if you already have bought something. I hope to see you soon. Consider to subscribe if you're into indie makeup, creative makeup or graphic liner. Bye bye!